everybody, I'm Sarah and welcome to Mile High Church. Thank you so much for spending a portion of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. Our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we want to give you a look at a few things coming up at Mile High Church for you and your family. Come experience Words That Heal, Stories of Identity on May 4th as part of our Diversity and Belonging Initiative. 5 dynamic artists will share their personal experiences of healing, self-discovery, and belonging. And sign up for our new class, Women Mystics, Visionaries and Voices of the Divine, on May 6th. Each week is taught by one of our women ministers. It explores the wisdom and spiritual impact of remarkable women mystics across traditions.
We all experience grief, and I'm so excited, not about the grief, but I'm excited that a genius, a gentleman, Dr. Alan Warpelt, he has been an educator, a teacher around grief and support. He's coming to Mile High Church. His title is Understanding Your Grief, the Touchstone for Hope and Healing. And then the next day, Alan is going to be here for a workshop, and that's on understanding the art of companioning, mourning. So I invite you all, tell your friends, if you're thinking, gosh, I've never talked about grief. He's not going to put you on the stage to talk about it, but I want you to listen to him. It'll help you a lot.
For more information about anything you've heard today, visit the Event Center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org.
1, 2, 3. Thank you, Sarah. Welcome to Mile High Church. Happy Sunday. It is Palm Sunday, so traditionally people get a haircut on Palm Sunday, so happy haircut. And I've got Maddie Jasworska singing with us today, so we're going to love that. And we're all going to sing together. You guys ready? One life, one life. One life living is you and me. One love loving is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One love living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. So happy, I just want to shine. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. So happy, I just want to shine. One life living as you and me. One light shining as you and me. One love loving as you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me. One light shining as you and me. One love loving as you and me. God is all there is.
Thank you, Tom, Maddie, Mile High Band. So grateful for them. So grateful for you. Hey, Bobby Dart is here in the front row, who produces our incredible announcement videos. Aren't they fantastic? Isn't he great? Thank you, Bobby. Dr. Raz and Tina are here. Always warms my heart. Uplifted to see you. Don't we love you, Dr. Raz? Back from Arizona. He's a traveling man. So it's the middle of Friday night, and my daughter wakes up and comes into my room, and she's still half asleep, but she says, Dada, what are you talking about on Sunday? So I'm talking about Jesus and how to give how to live a good life. And she responds, I wish you would give a talk about warthogs. And then she unintelligibly shared some facts about warthogs. So I thought I'd begin today, if you don't mind, by sharing with you a couple facts about warthogs. Warthogs, known for their warts, actually protective bumps, are wild members of the pig family, with males having 2 pairs of tusks and females having 1. And they are surprisingly fast, reaching speeds of up to 48 kilometers. Their tusks are actually large, elongated canine teeth that grow throughout their lives. How about that? Thank you for that inspiration, my dear little Nancy. But I'd like to share with you a few facts about Mile Highers and people that come to Mile High Church. First, they're the most resilient people I know. That no matter what they're challenged with, they're committed to celebrating the spirit within and remembering that the power within them is always greater than any challenge going on around them. They're people who believe in oneness, even when things in the country or the world may seem like they're falling apart. They hold that higher truth, not just for themselves, but for everyone around them. And to the best of their ability, they choose love over fear, kindness over retribution, grace and silence instead of panic and shouting. And so I appreciate each and every one here. Is that true of you, what I said? Yes, then you're in the right church. So we're so glad you're here today. So grateful for every aspect of this service. And we're now going to move into our shared spiritual practice this morning of song, of silence, and of prayer.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Yes, God is in this place. That power that is greater than each one of us that we can use is here in this space. And it is in each one of us at all times if we'll just recognize it. If we'll just embrace that all-encompassing God that never leaves us, that gives us the strength we need to get through all the things that are coming up before us, whether it be through grief, through gladness, through sadness, through hope, all is supported for each one of us by that divine that resides within us. As we open to it, as we take that breath that leads us to the divine, knowing that no matter what the appearance is in the outer world, we have the control of ourselves. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for that truth, that no matter what conditions may appear, that we are stronger, safer than we even imagine as we let go and let God, where all the power resides. I am so deeply thankful for that, and so deeply thankful that in this teaching that we call Science of Mind, and in this place that each one of us comes together in community, Mile High Church, that we believe that, and we step into the world with that knowledge. And we are beneficial presences in this world today. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Angels who only have one wing. All angels searching for each other. All angels who cannot reach the sky. 'Cause we need each other to fly. That there are angels in our midst. Can you hear them? Can you feel them? They're all around you, with you every day. Do you see them, or do you look the other way? It's that man as I hurried out the door, or that stranger that said hello, that I ignored. They are angels. We are angels. Are all angels who only have one wing. Searching for each other. All angels who cannot reach the sky. 'Cause we need each other to fly.
Our words of inspiration today come from Paramahansa Yogananda. The Christ consciousness is omnipresent, existing in every part and atom of creation. And from Joel Goldsmith. The Christ is not a person nor a historical figure bound to time. Christ is an infinite presence, the realization of our oneness with God. When you close your eyes and feel the stillness, when you silence the mind and listen, that presence speaks, not in words, but in a deep knowing. It is here, now, and it is you. I also want to take a moment to invite you to our Good Friday service, which is this Friday at 6 o'clock. And it's a really transformative, deep, wonderful service where we sort of steep ourselves in the last moments and the last words of Jesus. And so I just invite you for a time of transformation, a time of meditation. We'll open the sanctuary at 5 for meditation. The labyrinth will be open at 3, and the service starts at 6. So I hope to see you here this Friday.
I started coming to church here with my wife and my family in 2000, and I signed up for a class like that first Sunday because I'm like, I want to find out what this is about. I've got to find out something deeper. And this is a song I wrote as a special project for that class, and I was lucky enough to be able to perform it here back in 2001. So I'd love to do it for you now. I'm learning who I am. I know that you're beside me, the light of who you are can show me who I am, and I know where I am. Your love is all around me. Yes, I know who I am, and I know where I stand. 'Cause I am standing in the light, standing in the power, standing in the truth, and I'm walking in love. I am standing in the light, standing in the power, standing in the truth, and I'm walking in love. Because of who I am, exactly as you made me, I'm creating who I am, and now I understand that you opened all the windows every time I closed the door, and when I closed all those windows, you rolled away the stone. And now I'm standing in the light, standing in the power, standing in the truth, and I'm walking in love. I am standing in the light now. I am standing in the power. I am standing in the truth, and I'm walking in love. I'm walking in love, walking in love. I'm walking in love.
Tom Litch, everybody. Can you imagine being in that Science of Mind 1 class and hearing Tom sing that? What an amazing experience. I'm sure they wanted him on stage that upcoming Sunday. And I just want to say that your music and your presence leave a stamp on our hearts that will never perish. It's been such a gift, your yes to sharing your gifts for over 20 years here in such incredible ways. And I'm excited to find the new ways in which you share them here as well. We're so grateful for you.
Thank you, John.
We're entering Jesus Week here at Mile High Church. Palm Sunday today. As Carol mentioned, Good Friday, this Friday at 6. That's the service of all of them. Throughout the year, people come out and say, that's the best service I've attended all year. So don't miss that. It's really special and created with a great sacred consciousness. Thank you, Reverend Kate Johnson and your Energy Corps for what you do for that as well. And then Easter Sunday, 8 and 10 here. I'm speaking, but the big deal is that Hazel Miller is back at Mile High Church. We have some other wonderful singers and artists sharing with us as well, so that's going to be an incredible service. The message this morning is living the Christ life. Living the Christ life, and to be honest with you, in keeping the historical Jesus in mind, that does not sound like my ideal spring break. To be a Jew in the first century under Roman rule, to experience rejection and even betrayal from friends, family, followers, students, your fellow Jews, and the authorities. And of course, to be crucified. I don't want to have any of those experiences. And yet, someone who had those experiences became the greatest spiritual teacher who ever lived. It says something about you and your resilience. And in our teaching here, we believe that Jesus fully embodied and was the Christ. And yet the Christ is so much more. The Christ is an ever-present reality, a higher consciousness, the highest way of thinking, seeing, feeling, and being, and it is available to each and every one of us. This was Jesus' essential teaching, that this material reality that all of us are experiencing is not all there is. Not that it's not real, but it's not all there is. There is more. There is another reality. And the work of the human life and of the Christ life is entwining them together. Inner and outer. The temporal and the eternal. Heaven and earth. Heaven, or the kingdom of heaven as Jesus called it, didn't refer to an afterlife, but to indeed that ever-present reality. Something that we can weave into this life. How do we enter the kingdom of heaven? Jesus says, you must be reborn of the Spirit. We must become aware of this reality we do not see and yet is more real than anything, and do the hard, laborious work of weaving an awareness of the inner and the outer, of the eternal in the temporary, of being a presence for heaven on earth. Ernest Holmes, our founder, believed that Jesus was the greatest spiritual teacher of all time, and he shares about him. Jesus worked in a different kind of laboratory. He understood a different set of laws, and because he used these laws, a power was delivered to him that has amazed the world. It is our purpose to rediscover these laws, find out how they work, and apply them for every legitimate purpose, then reap the benefit for ourselves and for others. We are all called to live the Christ life. It is not the easy life. It is the courageous life, which begins with accepting the incredible Spirit in you and making the choice to live from that Spirit. Jesus' essential teaching was about bringing heaven and earth together. The essential practice he developed and used, which was new to all of humanity at the time, he called forgiveness. Forgiveness. God, why do they make it so hard? And forgiveness for Jesus could be seen at the most basic level of no longer blaming someone for their mistakes. But for Jesus, it was really how to respond from the Spirit in the midst of the material. It was about choosing a higher way. It was about literally practicing the love of God for anyone around you. It was the perfect response to rationality, to the common sense, to the laws of karma in everyday life. If someone hits you on the cheek, he says, show them the other. Someone steals one thing from you, offer them something else. If a person arrests you and makes you go a mile with them, be willing to go 2. Now, if someone slapped you on the cheek and you hit them back, I would understand. If someone stole from you and you called the police, I get it. I'd encourage you to do just that. If you were arrested without justice or reasoning, I'd be mad too. I think Jesus would share that same perspective, but what he's pointing out is that there's a higher way. There's a greater way to respond, not with naivete, but with a powerful love, a powerful force of love that is God's Spirit and grace in action. I'd like to share with you this morning about a hero of forgiveness. This is someone who's experienced betrayals and negativity in their life. They've been discounted and at times unseen, unappreciated. They've had their hearts broken, sometimes by the same persons, again and again. And yet they continue to do everything they can to take the higher path, to practice kindness instead of divisiveness and blame, to choose love over panic or repressed shame. And that hero, I want to argue, is you. It's you. I'm going to challenge you and say that you are much more forgiving than you know you are. And that even if you're sitting in your seat today thinking, gosh, I haven't done enough to forgive so-and-so, I think the answer isn't that you haven't forgiven, you've just forgotten. You've forgotten how much work you've done on yourself. You've perhaps forgotten for all the stuff that you may be holding on to, all that you in truth have let go of through all of these years. To stay committed to that truth of the human spirit in you, choosing to live in alignment, not with spite, but with spirit. In this teaching, we love to say that it's meditation and prayer that helps us cultivate a consciousness of divinity in our lives so that we can begin to see it manifesting and expressing itself everywhere. The truth is, sometimes it's the challenges of life that break us open into living the Christ life. Sometimes forgiveness isn't even a choice. We've come to learn that living in accordance with the back and forth, the stories, the fighting, the conflicts, the inner turmoil, that we have no choice but to turn to that light, to surrender, and hopefully as a byproduct of that surrender, experience some grace by simply saying there is a reality greater than the one that I experience. We can run on spite for a long time, but in the end we realize that spirit is the only thing we can truly live an authentic life living from. Spite or spirit? Just mix a couple words around. Which one are you living from? There is a hero of unforgiveness I want to talk a little bit about today. It's my favorite comedy show is Curb Your Enthusiasm, created by the great Larry David, who also co-created Seinfeld. And his nonstop practice is spite. And I love Larry David and I love Curb Your Enthusiasm because maybe like you, he says all of the things that I think from time to time but would never dare say. But he lives from spite. And in one particular episode, he enters Mocha Joe's coffee shop, owned by Mocha Joe, and immediately starts complaining about things because he's saying whatever's on his mind. So he orders a scone, and it's kind of soft. Mocha Joe, this is more like a muffin than a scone. And you can see Mocha Joe get annoyed. He sits down at his table, and it's wobbly. Mocha Joe, you can't have a successful coffee shop with a wobbly table. Mocha Joe's still annoyed, and then finally, the coffee is not warm enough for Larry. And he complains to Mocha Joe, who insists it's hot enough, and Larry puts his nose right into the coffee to prove otherwise. And Mocha Joe is so upset that he throws him out of the shop. Get out of my store. And Larry does what any of us would do, left with the means to be able to do so. He sees that the shop area right next door is available, and he begins the hard work of opening Latte Larry's, a pure 100% spite shop. We have a picture of Latte Larry's here, a hot cup of spite. Now, Larry David plays himself, but he's a character, and the truth is that our spite will eventually burn us out. Anyone here ever make a choice out of spite? Anyone here ever have a spite relationship? Anyone here ever take a spite job? Buy a spite car? Some of us are living spite lives. There's something attractive about spite. There's something that kind of tells us that we can feel better if we're practicing that blame and living out of a place of spite. But eventually it breaks away, and all that we're left with is that spirit of generosity, that spirit of forgiveness, that spirit that too many of ourselves have buried our true selves so deep that we lose touch with it. We begin to think it's fantastical, that spite is the only way. But there is a greater spirit and a greater reality that we can choose that allows us to live the Christ life. I want to share with you 3 unique ways of living the Christ life, and 3 powerful, unique individuals who, in my opinion, embodied the Christ life. And the first thing that I want to share for living the Christ life is to let God love you. Let God love you, or let God love through you. Unforgiveness isn't keeping love from anyone else. It's keeping the love of God out of your own heart. When we get in spite and we get in blame, we're keeping that love of God out of our own heart. When the truth is that divine reality is all around us. Brother Lawrence, a great French Catholic monk of the 17th century, he coined an incredible term. He called it practicing the presence of God. Practicing the presence of God. Think about that for a moment, what that means to you, to practice the presence of God. For me, it is to be in reverence of the sacred in any activity that I'm engaged in. Moving of the hand, thinking of divine qualities, moving through sacred memories, just basking and beholding nature from the point of view of the divine. This is what practicing the presence of God means to me. And for Brother Lawrence, he had a powerful experience because I think he was associating God with his prayer work and with the church, but he had an experience that helped him to realize that the divine is everywhere. He shared, "In the winter I saw a tree stripped of its leaves, and I knew that within a little time the leaves would be renewed, and that afterwards the flowers and the fruit would appear. From this I received a high view of the power and providence of God, which has never since departed from my soul. The view I grasped that day set me completely loose from the world and kindled in me such a love for God that I cannot tell whether it has increased during the more than 40 years since that time." Another basic way of practicing the presence of God is just being aware of what you would consider the divine qualities. That when you practice kindness, you're practicing the presence of God. When you practice generosity, you're practicing the presence of God. When you're practicing love, you're practicing the love of God. In my experience, back to forgiveness, for me, it's never about loving someone again myself. It's refusing to in any way keep God's love from someone else. It's getting back in the flow of that Spirit and that grace. Brother Lawrence said that life should be a nonstop conversation with God. Fully in reciprocity, having the best rapport. And by practicing that presence, we build that rapport. And we begin to hear the voice of the divine in all sorts of interesting places. I was at the airport a few weeks ago, just about to board the plane, and you know we have these boarding passes on our phones now. And I'm stewing. I'm going through some challenges, and I'm doing what most of us do when we're facing challenges. What did I do to make this happen? What could I have done to make this not happen? How am I to blame for this experience that I'm walking through? Oh, I'm the only one, huh? And I get up to the stewardess who's boarding the plane, and my boarding pass isn't scanning. She continues to do, and I say, I'm so sorry, let me try to do that thing with my fingers that only works when you're not trying to do it to get it to blow up. And she whispers to me, it's not you. It's not you. It's just the glare of the sun rising through the window. And I said, bless your heart. And I got on the plane, and although I haven't fully embodied the message, I heard it. What a painful thing to recognize how much we may be missing out on the voice of the sacred in our lives. That voice that tells you how forgiving you are, how good you are, how well-intentioned you are, that you are a precious expression of something beloved and eternal. So let God love you and let God love through you, and begin to realize that you have no idea how the divine speaks through you to so many different people at so many different times. That's how important you are. Another way to live the Christ life is to regularly declare the primacy of Spirit. That life is essentially the Spirit. And the material world, although important, is temporal. It's not as real as the spiritual truth. Someone else in history who I admire and embodied the Christ life in pretty amazing ways was Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of Christian Science. Mary Baker Eddy, the first woman in the United States to form a religion. She was pretty rigid and a little too fundamental for my spiritual taste, but I think it's what the kids would call badass, a woman making that happen, right? And Eddy wrote something that she called the Christian Science Statement of Being, and I want to share it with you. It goes like this. There is no life, truth, intelligence, nor substance in matter. All is infinite mind and its infinite manifestation. For God is all in all. Spirit is a mortal truth. Matter is mortal error. Spirit is the real and eternal. Matter is the unreal and temporal. Spirit is God, and man is his image and likeness. Therefore, man is not material, he is spiritual. And I'm not a big fan of denying the material world because we know where denial can lead us. However, if we can look at something and say, this is not the only reality it is, we can welcome in that renewed reality. Spirit, I know that this experience I am having is not the only reality there is. That there is a greater reality that you are present with now and revealing through all of my circumstances. So I let this tired story go. I let this version of myself I keep insisting on that is not good enough go. I let my worry, my panic, my procrastination, all of these layers of not be torn asunder because they are not real in the truth of what you are. And I allow the truth of Spirit to reveal itself through me as me right here and right now. We can look at any circumstance, self-image we have about ourselves, story that we are caught up in, perhaps even drowning in, and say it's not real. There's a greater reality. That's the amazing nature of the Christ life, is when we can know that truth, it can begin to reveal itself. It may be through a stewardess at a check-in line. It may not show up exactly as you want it, but it will begin to reveal itself. All we have to do is what Jesus teaches us to do, is to reground ourselves in the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven. He used that term, kingdom of heaven, for a reason, and it had somewhat of political purposes. It was the recognition that Roman rule was pretty crazy, and give unto Caesar's what is Caesar's. I think for a lot of us, we get really caught up today, arguably very understandably, in the nature of our government and in the nature of the media. And it's so important to do what Jesus said, to give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Doesn't mean don't be concerned about the government. Doesn't mean don't be a good citizen and vote. But don't allow yourself to be possessed by what you may view as chaos or uncertainty or whatever it is going on around you. Pay attention to it, respond to it, as I'll be talking about someone who did that in the next talking point, but ground yourself in that spiritual reality, because that other one is only going to lead you into panic and spite and to not bringing forth that consciousness that you want to see in the world and all around you. Remember that primacy of spirit. And lastly, keep your light burning. Your light is the most precious thing about you. It speaks in silent moments. It shows up in times where courage is called for. It is the thing that people admire and cherish about you the most. Do not hide it. Do not cover it up. Do not be ashamed of it. Bring it forth again and again, no matter what you fear the consequences or the judgment may be. And that light will make you proud because you'll be able to see it shining all around you. In the Gospel of Matthew, we read, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor does anyone light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." This is a positive thing to say when we're thinking of spirituality, as doing our spiritual practice, our meditation and prayer, and just building up that light so we can be it wherever it is. It's a trickier idea when we read this as a statement about resilience. When we read it as a statement of you're going through it right now. Someone doesn't know the truth of who you are. A circumstance is reflecting what's not good about you instead of what is. It's then that our light is most called to burn. It is there that we're called to be that resilience. Perhaps in all of the history since Jesus, the person who most embodied that Christ life was Mahatma Gandhi, a Hindu, who experienced the pain and the trauma of British colonialism and racism in South Africa and in India, and almost single-handedly ended it. How did he do it? He called it satyagraha. He read Jesus' Sermon on the Mount and was so inspired that he coined this term satyagraha that he defined as soul force, love force. And it's pretty cool to think of satyagraha as something that we can cultivate in our morning spiritual practice and bring throughout our day, but it's particularly challenging when someone isn't seeing the truth of who you are, isn't respecting your dignity as a human being, isn't holding a grander truth for you. Satyagraha is a response. It's a response to the suffering in the world. It's a response to the injustice in the world. It's a response to the confusion that we may see in the world. Gandhi says of it, Satyagraha is gentle. It never wounds. It must not be the result of anger or malice. It is never fussy, never impatient, never vociferous. It is the direct opposite of compulsion. It was conceived as a complete substitute for violence. It may not be showing up in a physical way, but somewhere, I'm going to guess, in your exterior reality or maybe in your psyche, there's some sort of conflict presenting itself. It may have to do with self-image. It may have to do with someone else's behavior. It may be a challenge that you're trying to look right in the eye. What does it mean to respond to that, not with the energy it's giving you, but to indeed take that energy in and transmute it into the way of the Spirit, into the way of love, into the way of the Christ? All common sense will say that's irrational. Don't do that. Do it anyways. Do it anyways. When we learn to trust in that powerful satyagraha within ourselves, when we are aware of our love force, aware of our soul force, we can practice it with clarity and always trust its results. To close this morning with a prayerful word from our founder, Ernest Holmes. You are an eternal being now on the pathway of endless unfoldment. Never less, but always more yourself. Life is not static. It is forever dynamic, forever creating. Not something done and finished, but something alive, awake, and aware. There is something inside you that sings the song of eternity. Listen to it. There is an eternal springtime of your soul. Always rising, but never setting, is the sun of your destiny. So taking that into prayer, inviting any of our prayer practitioners who are here to stand and join us in consciousness. They are available for prayer after the service. Let us remember this morning that the sun never sets where it rises. Wherever one thing may seem to end, it begins anew somewhere else. What I affirm for each and every one of us who chooses to be a part of this prayer today is that there is a rising sun. Its glare may blind our past stories. It may tell us that who we used to be is no longer needed for who we are called to be now. But it will reveal to us this important understanding, the most sacred and important of all, that the universe knows what it is and it knows what it's doing. That the Spirit knows what it is and it knows what it's doing. It's us that forgets. It's ourselves that loses that sense of understanding. And yet there's not a thing we need do but to remember and allow that sun to rise in our lives, to shine in those dark places, to reveal to us newfound thoughts and understandings, to move from story into that grand narrative that reminds us that we are precious children of God, that is who we are here to be, that is who we are here to become, that is who we are here to assist others in realizing as well. So in knowledge of this truth, I just invite us to bring to mind any individual, any circumstance taking place, just to see it being surrounded by that love and light of the sacred divine. May we see that light upon ourselves as well, whether we know what we're asking for prayer for today or not. We allow that light to know what it is and know what it's doing to bring forth a new spring of life and of love. Accepting this sacred truth, we embrace, we answer the call of the sacred honor to be the truth of who we are, the best we can in all things, in all circumstances, in all relationships. We allow that creative authenticity to bring forth those new miracles, that new spring that our life is now open to in profound and wonderful ways. And so it is. Amen.
We are all angels who only have one wing. All angels searching for each other. All angels who cannot reach the sky. 'Cause we need each other to fly.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Tom. How about our incredible ASL interpreter, Melissa Peterson? Grateful for all of our interpreters. And as we move into this time of offering, thank you for all that you give to Mile High Church. When you give here on a Sunday morning, you are investing in our Mile High Church Fund. And what that does is it goes to bring the wonderful music we're hearing here, the interpreters, the ministers, the staff, our youth program, so many wonderful things you choose to invest here at Mile High Church. I hope you get the best possible out of them. But let us know as well as we give of our abundance that it increases and returns to us in incredible ways, and that as we give of our abundance here, it increases the consciousness and the flow of divine good in all of our lives. I'm so very grateful. I invite you to take your gift physically or metaphorically, all the unique ways that we provide them, and with deep gratitude, we can say our offering affirmation together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. One, two, three.
How we doing?
Thank you so much, Maddie Jazwerska. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing your incredible talent with us this morning. What a joy. And if you are new to Mile High Church, I want to let you know that we have a welcome center out in the middle of the lobby. And we have lots of information about all the many wonderful things we have going on here. And our practitioner prayer partners are coming down front and available for a short affirmative prayer after the service.
Carol, you will probably be the person who's here longest today because you're facilitating the Healing Light service tonight. Do you mind just taking a moment to tell us not only when it is, but what it is?
So the Healing Light service is always the second Sunday of the month, and it's really a lovely way to end your day. It's at 5 o'clock, and it's a very quiet, contemplative service. I'll be doing a guided meditation, and it's an opportunity for us just to come together and be in stillness and silence for about an hour. And the Labyrinth is open at 4 o'clock in the community center as well.
Sounds like it's going to hit the spot. Thank you, Carol. Reverend Jackie, we have flower people walking around the lobby today.
We do. They're not here right now, but we do have flowers that we're selling at the end of what we call the event center on the north side. You can buy a plant or you can just make a donation also. That's fine. Any of the monies that don't cover the cost of the plants go to our Title I schools to support summer lunches for them.
Awesome. It's so wonderful to hear, Jackie get a call from a school in need, and I have never heard her have to say no. She always says yes because of the generosity of this community. We're so grateful for that and grateful for you. So, Good Friday on Friday, Easter on Sunday. Hope to see you there. And we are doing something unique here at Mile High. It's going to be Tai Chi and Qi Gong Day. That's April 26th, Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. with Barb Granitza and a wonderful crew of people. Our own Zamira will be here as well. And that's going to be a lot of fun and hopefully a new tradition here at Mile High. So with that, thank you for being here. If you'd like to stand, repeat after me. We're going to say a benediction before we sing the peace song. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life's in my mind, body, and all that I do.
Life's in my mind, body, and all that I do.
I give thanks for it.
I give thanks for it.
And I accept it.
I accept it.
Just the way that it is. And just the way it is not.
Just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.